Hello and welcome to the Despawn Podcast, your one-stop shop for idiotic opinions on video games. I am your host, Paul, with my good friend Pete on that side. We will be going through the week's news, views, and opinions that we have on them, just talking about a load of things we've been playing. Before we get into that, though, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First off, if you want to find us on social media, you can do at Despawn Podcast on Facebook or Twitter. You can also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Despawn Podcast, or you can find us on podcast services around the world where you can find us all for free. And we're there each and every week. We've also got YouTube where you can find us on there as well if you want to watch our pretty little faces. Keep an eye out for that. Just search Despawn Podcast. I wouldn't recommend it though. We are old and tired. So tired. Pete, what's been keeping you up all week that you've been playing?
Well, I'll just first of all, let's congratulate you on doing the intro better than last week.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks.
Yeah. Right, I have been playing.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Final Fantasy 14, but
obviously.
I decided I've been thinking about Monster Hunter quite a bit recently.
From all the recent Monster Hunter news at Tokyo Game Show, by any chance?
There is a good chance that could be why.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the reasons I stopped playing it on Steam is because I only have 100 hours on Steam and I have 400 and some hours on PS4.
Yeah.
So there's quite a difference between the two save files.
A little bit of difference.
So I may have used a mod to just put everything in the store. And I have been trying to recreate my PS4 character by just buying everything.
Right, okay.
How's
that going?
Yeah. Well, I was up till 2 a.m, like buying materials, making armor, upgrading armor.
Jeez.
Just trying to, not even making my save even as good as the PS4 one. I'm just trying to get it so that I have the best stuff I could have had when Iceborne came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm set up ready to do all the extra content that came out after it.
Okay.
So I put myself at that point now.
Cool. So you're jumping into the PC version going forward then?
Until PS5. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a PS5 pre-order.
Yes! Nailed it. I cancelled mine.
You did?
Yes.
You offered me yours and then cancelled it before I replied.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that because I realised that you could have taken it, but you've got one now. It's fine. Did you go for physical or digital?
Digital.
Okay.
I did sense your guilt afterwards when you started sending me links to PS5s for a few days.
I was like, I felt bad. I was like, I can't need to cancel this because I've just got my Xbox pre-order in. I was like, I can't afford both, so I'll get rid of the PS1. I was like, oh, no, I should have given it to Pete. But no, then but luckily you got one, which is good. So now my guilt is washed away, and I don't feel bad, and I don't feel like praying.
I have one pre-ordered. I have the day off work for it, so I can be at home and then wait all day for Demon's Souls to download.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the PS5 in a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got things to talk about there.
I brought it up because of Monster Hunter, because I'll probably go back to playing Monster Hunter on PlayStation when PS5 is out, because the PS5 should play that at a lock 60.
Yeah, should do.
Because it's currently, when I play it on my Pro, there's an unlocked performance mode where it targets 60. There's also a quality mode where it targets the best resolution it can.
Yeah.
So if I play it on quality mode on PS5, it should look the best and have 60 FPS.
Should do.
So it will be playable again.
Yeah.
For me, the PC snob.
Although saying that, like, why would you not just stick to playing with PlayStation? Oh, not PlayStation, PC.
Because different people to play it with. It's not cross-play, unfortunately.
True. Yeah, I suppose there is that. And I'm going to say it is going to be a bit backwards compatible, won't it, with the PS5? Yeah. So, yeah.
The other PS4 game I'm looking forward to on PS5 is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm-hmm. Oh, background textures.
Yeah, those textures are actually going to load.
Yeah.
And the game's going to look so good. That door in Sector 7 slums might actually have a texture finally.
Maybe. We can only wait and see. Man, can you imagine? That game is already great. I think, we'll probably get into it in a few months, but I imagine when we start talking about Game of the Year, that's going to be in the discussion somewhere. Now
Well, that's the
imagine
thing.
that with textures.
Yeah, like I don't have to wait for the PC version to come out now to
No.
see what it could look like. I can get it on PS5. I can
Mm-hmm.
just I'll either play it off because all my PS4 games are on an external drive anyway, so I
Yeah.
should only have to plug that into the PS5 and
Transfer your
go.
file. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know how it'll run from HD to the PS5, or
But I'm going
if
to
you'll
try
need to
first to
transfer
see,
it.
because first of all, it could just be that the processor and original graphics were the bottleneck, and that's why it wasn't loading fast enough.
Yeah, maybe.
But if it still isn't working right, yeah, I can transfer it to the internal memory.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's options.
But yeah, because I was thinking about PlayStation, I was thinking about what games will and won't sort of benefit from PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been talking to somebody at work about Persona 5 recently.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I never did play Royal after I've waited months to buy it.
No.
So
So you think you'd maybe save that for PS5 and give it a go on there?
no, I've started it now. I can't
Oh,
see
okay.
how Royal. I don't see how Royal will benefit from PS5.
No. I mean, loading times aren't that bad.
Sometimes like that bad. The game already
I mean, the art
looks.
style for it, like, I mean, can you really improve much on that?
Yeah, it's like it's. So I think that's my game to fill the next 53 days until PS5 comes out.
Is it only 50? It's 53 days, isn't it?
So it's less
Yeah.
days till Xbox.
Yeah, it is. It's 46.
I mean, I almost fluke bought an Xbox as well
You
because
fluke bought an Xbox. Okay.
well, that's how I got. I literally PS5. I just checked Twitter on a break at work,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a post from Digital Foundry's other Twitter account called Deals Foundry.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been posting links to consoles as soon as they go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one that was a minute old saying digital edition
Click.
PlayStation's available here. And it was like just buying something normally. I just went in and went, I'll have one of those.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll make an account. Sure. Yes, I'll pay full. No, because they tried to make me buy it on finance. I was like, no, I will just buy it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have money. Yeah, no, I did the similar thing with when it came to the Series X. I was like, I think I missed out originally when they were doing when it was like available on Smiths and Game in the we're talking UK here, so Smiths and
Yeah.
Game and the UK Microsoft Store. All three of those stores died like a death at 8 a.m. that day. So I was like, well, by the time the stores are up, I'll have lost out, so I just won't bother. And then someone posted a link to Amazon. I clicked it and went, oh yeah, pre-order done, fine.
Yeah, I
Granted, it's Amazon, so I've got about as much chance of getting that on launch day as I have of platting Fog, but still, I've got a pre-order in, so we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye out. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'll just say quickly. I am going to keep an eye out for any all access options, just because it's the option I was going to go for anyway. So when they start going back on sale online, I'll probably just do that and cancel my Amazon pre-order, just so that we can swap it out.
Yeah, I saw an all access one, and it was like, yeah, you can get an Xbox in all access if you've already used all access.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Like they've given preferential treatment to previous all access users, which is, I mean, fine, whatever. It is what it is. Like if it comes up for pre-order somewhere and I can get it, I'll get it. But for now, I've got an Amazon one in, and it's fine.
the other reason I'm put off of all access at the moment is you can't do it directly from Microsoft. You have to do it with either Smiths or Game.
Yeah, because the finance option is through a third party. So in the UK, I think it's through a company called Klarna, who I've used in the past. They're fine. Like I've used them for a couple of things, but yeah. So, but they again, they had issues as well. So I did at one point manage to get through the Smiths Toys like pre-order option through All Access, and then it died midway through. And obviously Klarna got hit with a ton of people failing to order it properly. So yeah, so I think they're dealing with some issues at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I say, I'm not in a rush now. I've got a pre-order in. We'll see how it goes. But were you saying that you had a similar thing when you were just looking through for the Xbox stuff?
Yeah, I just again saw a link and just clicked on it. This time the link was like 30 minutes old. I just went and looked and went, oh yeah, there's a Series S. I could just buy that right now.
Yeah.
It's like, but then I have to book another day off work to be home for it.
Yeah.
It's weird, like, so I'm pretty much only buying a PS5 for Demon Souls.
Yeah, he's spending £400 on a Demon Souls player. Which is Demon Souls one of the ones that's going to be PS4 as well, or is that just PS5?
I think it's just PS5.
Okay.
But then when I think about the Xbox Series S, the only game I can really think that I'm buying that for is Destiny.
Yeah, which
So,
again is going to be everywhere. In fact, will it not be on PS5 as well?
yeah, but Game Pass has the update for free.
True.
So
Are they getting Game Pass? Are they getting that on PC though, or is it just
hang on.
console?
I don't know, to be honest.
We'll have to double check that. I'm pretty sure they're only doing
But let's mean
the
that
console side.
this will be my first. So I'm looking at All Access now.
Mhm. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to double check on the Destiny thing because I'm pretty sure it's just the console side that they're getting Game Pass, but we may be
Yeah.
wrong. I know that they've just launched Destiny with obviously the current DLC. So was it Forsaken and the one after that I can never remember the name of?
Shadowkeep.
Shadowkeep, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, so those are now on Game Pass on console. I don't think they're on PC, but I can have a look at the Game Pass app. See, we do up to date information for you right here, right now. Destiny 2 is searching. But yeah, so I guess say like you were saying, we'll just quickly jump back. Like you were playing Monster Hunter World. You've played with your saves. What else have you been doing? What have you been playing?
I've also been playing, like I say, Persona 5.
Mm-hmm. How are you finding
And
that? Is this the first time you jumped into Royal since you got the game?
yeah, so I had 20 some hours on my save already. I'd done the first Palace when it came out.
Yeah.
And then I must have been distracted by another game. Maybe Final Fantasy 14 had an update and I never went back.
Standard. Yeah.
So yeah, I've done the second Palace now. I was going to play more yesterday, but I had to come off to play Final Fantasy 14 because
Gotta. Those are the rules.
I have things to do on Final Fantasy 14 at the weekend. So
yeah, fair.
I've done raids one night and treasure maps another night.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, came off to do that and then messed around with Monster Hunter afterwards. But I'm going to go back on Persona 5 today. I'm in the middle of buying a Series S right now on All Access.
Jesus. Okay. Can you send me the link to that when we're done here today, so I can do the same thing?
Smith seems to be
Smith.
taking now.
All right, cool. I'll go check it. Cool. All right. Well, for me, what have I been playing this week, Pete? You ask. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Pete.
What have you been playing, Paul? Tell me, Paul. What have you been playing, Paul? Is it Metal Gear Solid, Paul?
It has been Metal Gear Solid. Yes, thank you for asking, and thank you for spoiling, you bastard. Yes, so we announced last week. Well, it was in the news this week. We were going to talk about it, but it's now out, so there's not really a rumor anymore. But yeah, so Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 have been, and the first Metal Gear as well.
Yeah.
All three have been launched on GOG, which is basically, I think, is it CD Projekt's basically store that they also run.
Good old games.
Good old games. It's basically the DRM free version of Steam.
I mean, yeah, cheekily, you could just send me the executables for Metal Gear and I could play it.
I mean, I could do that, couldn't I? But I would never suggest doing such a thing. But check Dropbox later.
I'll never play him. I mean, I was pretty much remembering it scene for scene while watching you play it. So
yeah,
I don't consider myself a Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah, somehow you remember every section.
Yeah, I was like literally saying to you things like, check your inventory. And you're like, oh shit, what's this? It's a bomb.
Yeah. But yeah, I played through the Metal Gear Solid, so the PS1 version is now on PC. Man, I love that game so much. Like,
you did it in one sitting.
I did as well. Yeah, I did a full 9 hours sitting and complete it all in one go. And not one point did I think I'm gonna turn this off and just stop for the day. I loved it. I think next time I'm gonna go through the Metal Gear Solid 2.
In one sitting.
Maybe. Shall I save it for Saturday and see how we get on?
I wouldn't do that one in one sitting. It's a bit longer.
It is a little bit longer, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But no, like I enjoyed it so much. The art style, for how bad some of the polygons are, it still holds up really well. I think they may have done a bit of polish on it. The control scheme, though, like I'll tell you now, trying to play that game on a controller, the PC version, oof, it's there's some rebinding you have to do. Let's just say.
Yeah.
And there is, for anyone who, I think it's now what, 22 years old. I think we're well beyond the remit for spoilers. There is the Psycho Mantis fight where, for anyone who knows that fight, the easy way to do it is basically switch your controller port from port 1 to port 2 on your PlayStation. Obviously, you can't do that on a PC. So yeah, make sure that you bind the keyboard setout that you want to use.
That's where, that is where I started watching. I came on and you were just doing the Psycho Mantis bit, and I said I sent a message saying, "How do you change controllers on PC?"
Mm-hmm.
And then the kernel messaged you saying, "Use the keyboard."
Yeah. Well, he says use controller 2 because they didn't change any of the voice lines. But
the voice acting says everything PlayStation still.
Yeah.
Press the circle button to regain your health.
I mean, I'll give them credit. There are some good things in there where they've updated those options. So obviously the voice acting hasn't changed, but there are like screen overlays that tell you what button you should actually press and things like that. So it does work well, and it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend getting it. I think it was £7. I think they're both £7 each. Definitely recommended getting. 100% play through them all. They're both great. Other than that, this week I've not really been playing much. That's the only main one I can think of. I jumped into the Hitman 2 DLC that I wanted to pick up after playing it recently. A lot of fun. A couple of extra levels, some sniper modes that aren't that great, but yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. I don't think it is worth the money I spent on it. Let's just say.
Right.
But I'm glad I got it anyway, and got to play through that. But that's pretty much it for games I've been playing this week. Coming up soon, there may be a lot more games I'll play on Xbox because the biggest news of what I think, and we're jumping into news now, just to segue.
Okay. Sure, I'm going to stop ordering this.
You stop ordering that and concentrate, God damn it. I think we might have had the biggest news story, I mean, ever? Like, or at least for as long as I can remember. So
Animal Crossing Halloween update.
Yeah, the Animal Crossing Halloween update. But beyond that, we also had the news that Xbox just straight up have announced that they're buying ZeniMax Media. So these are the parent company of Bethesda. So I'll read through the blog article, just the bit I took out from it. So this is again found on news.xbox.com. Today is a special day as we welcome some of the most accomplished studios in the games industry to Xbox. We are thrilled to announce Microsoft has entered into agreement to acquire ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks. As one of the largest, most critically acclaimed, privately held game developers and publishers in the world, Bethesda is an incredibly talented group of 2,300 people worldwide who make up some of the most accomplished creative studios in our industry across Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arkane, Machine Game, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse Studios. These are the teams responsible for franchises like The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, Quake, Starfield, and many more. So they've announced that they're buying them for $7.5 billion, which honestly is a lot of money, but not in Microsoft's eyes, I guess. I think that's pretty much chump change to them. This honestly, absolutely, in my eyes, changes the landscape for how people are looking at Xbox now. I think 6 months ago, going into the next generation, before we saw the consoles, the prices, this announcement, some of the additions to Game Pass, I think people were thinking, or I was thinking, that Xbox had a big, massive uphill battle for them going into next gen.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like, what a PlayStation going to do to combat this?
See, I know there's talk that Microsoft will eventually make all these first-party studios, but they've already this make Game Pass so good that they could still release these on other consoles. It's just Game Pass gives you the games day one for free.
The answer I would give to that is, though, would you spend $7.5 billion buying all these studios when you could have done a 7.5 million deal just to have them on Game Pass?
See, yeah, I'm thinking like a corporation. Think like a customer. If you had a choice between two consoles, one of them was letting you buy it on finance and cost you like £10 a month to have this massive library of games. The other one cost more, and you had to buy each game outright.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Short term, I think it is primarily short term for Game Pass. I just don't. I cannot see these studios being a third party studio or releasing multi-plat going forward.
They'll make some first party games, definitely, but I think big franchises will still be multi-platform. I don't think they will take Elder Scrolls, Fallout, everything. I don't think the big titles will become Xbox exclusive.
I disagree. I think they will, but I mean, it's obviously a wait and see. I think if you're spending this amount of money, it'd be silly to not be like, yeah, they're not going to take titles away from like third party companies, but I can see that I can definitely 100% see Starfield being a Xbox only title, Xbox and PC only.
Nah, this is new Microsoft, and there was no reason for him to ever put Ori on Switch. And they did because they saw a market there. They saw a way to make more money, and they did it. And Will o' the Wisp came out on Switch the same year as it came out on Xbox, so that gap is closed. And I watched the Digital Foundry video on it yesterday, and they put so much extra effort into making it run at 60 FPS on Switch. And this is all stuff they didn't need to do. They never had to make a Switch version of that game or the previous game. They never had to.
Again, the counter argument to that is made by a second party studio. It's not a first party team. These are now going to be a first party team. Like Moon Studios, the guys who made Ori, aren't owned by Microsoft. Same with is it MDHR who did Cuphead? They're a second party studio. So we don't know what kind of deals they have in place. We don't know if they were timed exclusives that were just never said to be timed exclusives or what. The other argument is, but Minecraft's on PlayStation as well. It's like Minecraft was already on PlayStation when they bought it. Could you imagine the uproar if they took that away from PlayStation? Or if they stopped updating it? Like, there would have been, well, not riots, but the internet would have kicked off at Xbox royally. Whereas now it's like, they bought these games. I honestly, my personal opinion is maybe the next currently in production games are cross-platform because they are already being built for cross-platform. But going forwards from that, depending on how far into development they are or what the next development is, I can honestly see they start making first-party only titles. I can see them doing it. I could see Fallout 5 being a Xbox and PC only. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they will just like become the third party studio that we think Microsoft are aiming to. But honestly,
everything that Microsoft has been doing and saying at the moment is they don't consider themselves part of the console generation anymore. They see Apple and Google and Amazon as their rivals now.
Yeah.
So they just want to be making their money from anyone who wants to be involved with Xbox, whether it be on an Xbox or via other means. So I believe that they will still release. I think at least Bethesda and ZeniMax and all the studios involved in that, I think they will still be multi-platform studios.
Okay.
The studios that Microsoft have actually made themselves, which I consider their true first-party studios, will carry on just making first-party stuff.
Yeah. So your Turn 10s,
your initiative,
coalitions, free for frees. Yeah.
Yeah, they were made by Microsoft. So those studios will carry on making Microsoft games, but a lot of their recent acquisitions are big third-party studios, and yeah, we're still just waiting to see what happens with that.
Again, it is a wait and see.
Yeah, I just don't want a future where we're supposed to be. It was supposed to be like more sort of open platform. Like we were starting to get crossplay, and it was becoming a. It doesn't matter what console you get because you can always play with your friends. And then the narrative just moving to this new generation is Xbox is pulling its army together of here's us, this is Microsoft and all of our American developers.
Yeah.
And Sony's just sort of seems to be going, well, here we are with all our Japanese developers.
Yeah.
And it seems to be setting sides, and I don't want it to be sides. I want it to be all one big industry still.
To be honest, it's always going to be sides with the way that PlayStation works. They're always going to have their first-party studios that only make first-party games, and they are all exclusives.
And Microsoft had theirs, but it was like there was two small groups of games, and each one had its opposite equivalent on the other side. So you had your Forza on one side, and you had Gran Turismo on the other. So there was always like an alternative, really.
But now it seems like the pendulum has swung a little bit towards Xbox side with this purchase, I think.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it hasn't swung that way at all because I don't particularly like anything these guys have made. But
no, that's fair. Like I say, again, there's a lot of people that
it's
do.
a big acquisition. Yeah, I definitely agree
huge.
that it's a big acquisition. But Bethesda is notorious for releasing broken games.
That's the question, though. Will Fallout get the support they need to actually fix those games now?
They're already $1 billion company, or at least $1 million company. If they weren't fixing it yet, they were fucking just lazy.
I know, but that's the thing. They can't. Can they afford to be lazy anymore? If you've got the backing of Xbox, I can't see Phil Spencer turning around and be like, "Yeah, that's fine. Release another buggy Fallout."
Well, they've already sort of said that they're going to be kind of hands off with these studios and let them carry on doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but how hands off can you really be when you've spent this amount of money to purchase them? Is the question.
They've been pretty hands off with Mojang. In fact, Mojang seems to be more in the pocket of Nvidia these days.
RTX and everything.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, honestly though, this what they do in the future, regardless, this is a huge move on Xbox's part. Like you say, it bolsters Game Pass massively. Like for anyone who was even interested in these games now, like if you wanted to sit down and try out an Elder Scrolls game or a Fallout game or a Wolfenstein game or even the new Doom games, which again is announced that Doom Eternal is coming October 1st to Game Pass. I'm pretty sure they said that Dishonored is now no longer on the leaving soon list as well. And I can see these like Prey and everything else coming soon as well. So yeah.
But they've already confirmed all their new titles will be day one Game Pass. This is what I mean. Game Pass is it's their full bet. It is what they are riding Xbox on now.
Yeah, like you're right. We were saying like earlier, like would you pay £15 a month and get access to 100 games, or would you get it on PlayStation for $70 or £70 or whatever it is over here?
Like at the moment, Microsoft's got that. They've got two bargaining chips. They've got the Series S, which is £250.
Yep.
And they've got Game Pass, which is £10 a month, something like that.
Depending on which version you get, it's like £10-15. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the price, I mean, your Netflix subscription these days is £10 a month.
I pay 15 because I get the 4K one. So yeah, 10-15 quid.
Exactly, and they've got everything that's already on there, which includes pretty much stuff from every third party. EA Access is being added around Christmas.
Yep.
Or EA Play, sorry.
EA Play, yeah.
Bethesda games will be just like sprinkled in over the next few months. Well, ZeniMax games.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's becoming a must-have is Game Pass.
I mean, yeah. 100%.
So I've got PC only friends that have started actually seeing the value of Game Pass now. Going, oh well,
that's it. Yeah.
Someone said to me the other day, like, oh Pete, is No Man's Sky any good? I've just seen it's like half price on Steam. And I was like, well, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I was like, it's on Game Pass. You can pay £1 for your first month for Game Pass and play it now.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah. And that's the
Like if you
thing.
want,
That's the deal, isn't it? It's like you pay £1, you check out all these games, and you're like, well, I'm halfway through playing this game. Might as well just carry it on for another month. And then like,
yeah,
oh, there's this other game I want to play. Oh, all right, they've just announced all the Bethesda games are coming. All these first party titles are amazing, and they're all coming to PC day and date nowadays. So yeah, like it is that it's that perfect like entry point into the Xbox ecosystem that you say.
and
And
when a new ZeniMax game trailer comes out,
mhm,
and it's the trailer, the actual proper from the studio trailer that tells you every platform it's coming on,
mhm.
you damn right they're gonna go available day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, on PlayStation.
Also on PlayStation
Yeah,
5, and
yeah.
they'll
That's
make
this is the funny thing about this announcement that as well that made me laugh a little bit. As part of this agreement, they're still sticking to their previously signed agreements. So two of these titles that were coming from these studios are PlayStation timed exclusives. So
console
Deathloop,
exclusives.
console exclusives.
Yeah.
So Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. So now you are going to get two exclusives on PlayStation that you know for a fact when they launch. Xbox Game Studios presents right in the title screens.
Oh yeah, it says Microsoft on the Minecraft boxes. I'm sure it does.
Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if it does. It will definitely have the the Microsoft logo on there somewhere, or the Xbox Studios somewhere. But yeah, it's like that's the thing. Like, are they going to keep? I don't think they'll keep making those kind of deals though. I did see another story that came out around this time that says that PlayStation were trying to get Starfield as an exclusive. Um, And there's just this little tiny piece of me that thought someone at Xbox heard about that and went, no, we're just going to buy the studios instead. But yeah, are you looking up the Microsoft or the Minecraft box at the moment?
Yeah, it does definitely have Mojang on it. I can't
Mhm.
see a Microsoft logo, but
No, it might be on the back or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I'm trying to
Um,
see the back.
yeah, but no, I mean, I imagine like I'm talking about like the splash screen when the game launch like loads up for the first time. There'll definitely be an Xbox logo in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to think how will again, as I said at the beginning, like if they do, how do PlayStation respond to this? Can they really?
Well, they announced that PlayStation Plus collection, where
Mm-hmm.
the best, so all the greatest hits of
PS4.
PS4 are on there, and some
Mm-hmm.
of those games were ZeniMax games as well.
Yeah, I think were they?
Yeah, there was definitely. I think I saw Fallout 4. I think I saw one of the Dooms or Wolfensteins in that as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up and see what
And that
games.
was announced. That was announced before the buyout was announced.
Yeah. So again, are they gonna be in there still? Or again, like we said at the beginning, like are those deals gonna those good deals will most likely continue. I'm trying to find. I can't see. No, the only ones I can see is like only on PlayStation collectors. So there's the first party stuff. Um,
Um, so in that trailer, there was Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1,
mhm.
Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, God of War, Infamous Second Son, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Last Guardian, Last of Us, Uncharted, Until Dawn, Resident Evil 7. So Fallout 4 was
Fallout
in
4.
there.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the titles is in there, but yeah, I mean, I imagine that'll still stay in there. I can't see PlayStation removing it if they've already paid for that. But yeah, I mean, interesting turn of events. I think big moves by Xbox. It seems to be paying off as well. Just moving on to the next story.
Well,
They
yeah,
did.
the timing of this as well. Like, they
Oh,
waited
the
until
timing was perfection.
there was like PlayStation 4's 5s were about to go on sale, and then
Mhm.
they're like, oh, by the way, we own ZeniMax now.
Not only that, but the day before the PlayStation pre-orders went live, they dropped
That's
this
what I just said.
news.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
just said.
Not the PlayStation. Did I say PlayStation? I meant the Xbox Series X.
All right,
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
they had dropped this the day before the Xbox went live for pre-orders as well. So it's like, yeah, tomorrow you can get the Xbox Series S and Series X. Remember, if you do, you get access to all of the Bethesda games. But yeah, big moves by Microsoft. I think they also turned around and said that they're not done buying studios. So yeah, exciting times ahead. I'm interested to see who they're going to go for. You've got to think it's going to be a Japanese studio.
Sorry, I just went on Amazon. I can just pre-order a Series XS right now. Just
Yeah,
straight
I
up.
don't think the Series S is selling out. I think there's a lot more of those than people thought. But yeah, as I was saying, as part of this announcement, they also announced there was a little thing in there that says Xbox Game Pass subscribers has leapt by 50% in 5 months. So as of this month, so as of September, Xbox Game Pass now has 15 million subscribers, which is up from the 10 million figure that they announced in April. So yeah, so 50% rise in 5 months.
One day I'll actually remember to play something on it.
Yeah, I mean, all of my games that I play on the Game Pass are usually the PC side, which means I
Yeah,
should probably switch. See, I mean, I'm the worst kind of Game Pass owner. I only play games on the PC. I don't have an Android phone, so I can't use cloud gaming. Um, and I've just bought a new Xbox. I've just pre-ordered a new Xbox that's going to sit in the room and be my Netflix machine. What am I doing, Pete? What am I doing?
well, I have Game Pass as well, and I've had it since it started, and I don't know what I've played on it.
No, damn.
I played maybe an hour of some games on it and then gone, right, cool.
Yeah,
But
I
I also
use
feel like I've been missing out if I don't have it. It's very
that.
clever
It
marketing.
is fantastic. It does feel like it's that must-have in gaming, doesn't it? It's like you have to have it because you will miss out because there is going to be a big, massive title that everyone wants to play.
I played Streets of Rage 4 when it came out.
Mhm.
But I think this is the other thing, we talked about this like months ago, about there's a weird disconnect with games or any media when you haven't had to pay money for it or perceived amount of money for it. So I played Streets of Rage for 10 or 15 minutes and then just wrote it off, going, yeah, I'm not enjoying this.
No.
Where I think if I'd actually paid how much the game costs, I probably would have played more of it and ended up enjoying it.
Yeah, I did the same with Battletoads as well. Like I jumped in that and went, "This is okay," because again, I'm not paying. Well, I'm not paying the asking price for it.
Yeah, there's no perceived payment for it.
No, it's because it's just a subscription that goes. In my eyes, I'm paying for gold. So again, which is a thing I don't use. This is it. I don't use any of the Game Pass stuff except for the PC access. I should just get Game Pass PC. But I know going forwards, there's going to be something huge that I want to play. Like honestly, it was the last story on our document, but like Destiny 2 when Beyond Light launches at the end of this year. I'm 100% jumping in that on Xbox consoles because I've got
Same.
friends that play it on there.
That is the main reason I'm thinking of just getting the S. And I am thinking of just buying it outright now because I looked at that finance thing and it's going to cost me £500 for a Series S on finance.
Really? I suppose you also getting the gold subscription. You get getting Game Pass as well.
Yeah, it's still not. Yeah, the £29 for a Series X is a good deal, but the Series S for £21 a month is a bad deal.
Yeah, it works out
Because
like I think I worked out it's like £5 cheaper or something for one of them.
Yeah, because the Series X is £450 max, and then you're getting 2 years of Game Pass with that, so that does work out as a saving.
Yeah,
But the Series S is a £250 console with an extra £250 on top.
yeah.
So that one isn't worth it. So
No,
that's the other reason
that
why I
one's
thought,
more of that's the one for the option for the people that can't afford to buy a console outright. So you get it on finance. You pay a bit extra, but yeah. Whereas all access for the X works perfectly, I think.
so I might outright buy a Series S, get it delivered to work because it comes out on a stupid day, November 10th.
Damn you!
But I don't need one at launch. No, I'm going to stick with my original plan of just walking into a shop and buying one when I do eventually need
They
one.
will be available. You can guarantee they'll be on shelves as well.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. These things are going to sell like hotcakes off the shelves. I think, like the S. If you're like, here's a next gen well, as far as like say your mum or your grandparents buying a console for their kids, like here's a next gen console for only £300 or £250, and if you buy this subscription for them as well, they can get 100 games for free as part of this subscription. I hate using the term for free, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would be saying you would get access to 100 games. But I
Get
used to work in retail, so you got to watch what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't promise anything that's not real.
Yeah, you'll get access to over 100 games as part of this subscription for £15 a month, or if you buy it up front, it's an extra like £200. But yeah, it's like there's going to be I think a lot of S's sold. But yeah, moving on from there. Right. I'll give the news and then we'll have our thoughts on it, because that's how news and discussion works. As part of obviously all the announcements for the new Xbox and the ZeniMax and everything else like that, they also announced the official price for the new expansion cards. So they've confirmed that these are going to be for the 1 terabyte expansion card for the Xbox Series S and Series X is going to be £219/dollars. They also announced a bit of a breakdown on how they'll work. So they've said that basically because these are going to be classed, they're basically using the same. They're going to work directly with the internals designed for the next gen console. So they're going to use the Xbox Velocity architecture. So you'll be able to run your optimized games directly off this SSD. So yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll go through the chart that they gave. It's just a little 4-point run. They said, so if you use either, so this is a breakdown of either if you use a USB 3.1 HDD drive external or the new Seagate 1 terabyte expansion card. So both will store any Xbox game. So that's your backwards compatibles or your next gen ones. Both will play those games as well. Only the expansion card will play the optimized for Series S and X games. So any backwards compatible games that get an update, or our next gen games will only be able to be played off the SSDs, and they'll also replicate the speed only from that as the internal SSD.
Yeah.
So it's basically like
it does what an SSD would do.
Yeah, exactly. But it's designed to work directly with how the operating system and the CPU build and basically how they've designed the console. It's basically designed to take full advantage of that. So it's like
full advantage of your wallet.
Yeah,
being a proprietary drive that you have to buy from Microsoft and Seagate.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll go into that. They did mention in there that Seagate were the first company that they designed it with, but they are working with other third parties and other options from just this proprietary card. But at launch, this is the only expansion card you'll be able to get. £219 does sound like a lot, but I compared that to looking at some of the NVMe SSDs that are on the market at the moment for a terabyte. They range from about 120 to 180 pounds, and they're just using your standard SSD formatting, like architecture. This is obviously designed custom to work directly with the Xbox Series S and X, so it's a bit different. So it's and obviously with it being proprietary, it's a little bit more. So it's like it works out at top end. It works about 30-40 pounds more than a current SSD at 1 terabyte is. So it's a bit more money, but you'd be spending about 150 on average to put an SSD in there anyway. So although it does sound like a lot, I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. Personally, I don't know what you think.
Average price of a terabyte M.2 is £100.
All right.
£100 to £110. So they're charging double that, basically.
This again, what gen is that? Because the one that they're doing is a Gen 4 2. I think I was looking at Gen 4 SSDs, and they were the ones that were going for about 150, 170 quid.
Just quick searching. Hang on.
Okay, that's fine. Like I say, again, it's a pill to swallow. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out personally. But again, as I said when we were talking about these, when they first announced that you're going to be using proprietary cards for your SSD storage, I think as more companies come on board, and obviously there is a competition to get one, like who can sell it for the cheapest, I think the prices will come down. As more people start making it and there's improvements to them, I think, again, those prices will start coming down. But at launch, it's going to be a lot of money. So, yeah. Obviously, there is the confirmation that you can just plug in an external HD drive. So if you want, you can use that for storage. There's going to be a lot of toing and froing with games that you want to add to your SSD for those advantages. But yeah, I'm not personally too upset about this. I'm not going to buy one on launch day because I think if I'm buying an X, I think I'll be fine with the the terabyte that's in there for starters.
I think the my main concern is for the Series S because they've only put 512 in that.
Yeah, that's going to be the
They've
bigger
made
ones.
they've gimped their digital only console so that you have to buy pretty much a hard drive within your first year,
Yeah.
or constantly delete and re-download stuff.
Yeah, again, like I say, well, there's that or get a HD and just use that as a storage point. But if you want to play games, you have to move them back and forwards between the SSDs and the HDs.
So even looking at Seagate M.2s,
Mm-hmm.
the most expensive one here is the
They're very
absolute
expensive. Yeah.
top end one is £209, but that's probably not.
Is that one of the ones with RGB and everything?
No,
Because I saw some with RGBs for like £180 from like third parties.
but yeah, because you're going to need an expansion at some point for
Yeah.
your Series S, so your Series S is actually going to cost almost £500.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna, yeah, like I say, have to permanently deal with a lot of deleting and reinstalling.
Yeah, you don't have the discs to just quickly reinstall from, so it is a full download every time.
Yeah, from your internets. Oh yeah, like I say, the only other option if you're not wanting to buy the SSD slot is buy a HD and just use that for solely for storage, and just constant moving files around. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like obviously there's a ton of advantages to this SSD. What they've done with the Xbox Velocity with quick switching and everything else that they're putting in there. So they've obviously, I don't think they've done it solely just, oh, like this is a really good money making thing. I think obviously they've looked at the way that they've built the Xbox, like it needs to use this SSD to take a full advantage. But if they'd have put like a 2 terabyte hard drive in there, it would have, yeah, it would have been way too expensive for most people. I think
But what they're
this is the only
telling
option.
us is the internal hard drive in this Xbox Series X is worth 220 quid.
Mm-hmm.
So half of that, so 500 is about what, 150. So it's weird. It's when you start thinking about the hard drive size versus the rest of the components.
Yeah.
The hard drive is apparently half of the cost of these new Xboxes.
Yeah, I mean it's almost the same price as an S. Yeah, so because yeah, the S is what 249 I think in the UK, and then
Yeah.
this is 219. So yeah, so it's 40 quid cheaper than an entire console. It's bless you. Yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's a pill to swallow that people are gonna have to deal with. I think again, as I say, and I've always said, like going forwards, I think they'll drop down in price as more people start making them, as more third
Yeah,
parties get involved. And yeah, there'll
this is
be
definitely, because they will get cheaper as it becomes normal. But the fact that they've made it as a proprietary drive means that they can always control the price.
yeah. Well, that's
Whereas
the thing; they
this,
can't always control the price because, again, like as I said, like third parties are going to start making these. They've said that they're releasing the specs to it so that people can make them.
they've never
We
made,
talked about it a while back that they're releasing the specs for this so that people can use it on PC as well. Not this
they
proprietary drive itself, but the specs for them.
if they're going to say like 360 never let you use anything other than official hard drives.
Did it not? Oh well, no, yeah.
No.
360 was weird, and obviously they changed that for the One. Where you
Yeah,
could plug in any external hard
external.
drive.
But again, you
Um,
couldn't change the internal one.
no. Um,
Um, I know PS4 is putting in an NVMe slot and just saying that like you can buy your own drive when compatible ones come out.
mhm. So yeah, but again, it has to be compatible. So yeah, again, relying on third parties to make them. Um,
Yeah,
so the
but it
current,
does let you shop. You could shop around for a decent price. Someone might cash in on that and make good drives specifically designed just for PS4.
yeah, again, and this is the thing that's going to happen for Xbox. They're going to make like you're talking now, like people have to make a compatible version of an SSD for the PS5. People will have to make a compatible version of the SSP using that proprietary slot for the Xbox.
Yeah, but it's just a standard M.2 slot in the PS5. It's the same slot as your PC has. You can just buy any brand you want. You're not locked into a brand in a certain type of casing with a new only works on Xbox connector.
True. Yeah, I mean, again, it's I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I guess it's a
Like
interesting one.
the way it's done at the moment is Microsoft has the connection; they can control the price, and Sony has just put the standard M.2 connection in theirs, and you can just buy a hard drive for whatever price you find that, as long as it's compatible, whatever price you want.
Yeah,
So there's two different markets there. So
yeah.
that's all I'm saying on it. Is just the Sony way feels a bit more consumer friendly.
I mean, it does. Again, like I say, we're relying on the third parties to make them and keep those prices down. And I honestly think that's going to happen with the Xbox One as well. I know that obviously they've designed that slot, but third parties are going to start making cards for that slot that will obviously start bringing that down in price as well. Because that's the thing. As soon as that next third party comes out and says, "Yeah, you can get the 1 TB Xbox card for £200," then Seagate are going to have to turn around and start matching that price. And then somebody else will do the same. And eventually the prices start coming down that way.
From my line of work, I know there's a few companies out there that make some real shit SSD storage.
Yeah.
So I will warn you if I see them making Xbox drives.
Thank you. I'll stay away from those. But yeah, and then moving on from there, just a final bit of Xbox news that I've got this week. Obviously, we've had Tokyo Game Show gone this week. It opened with an Xbox conference. Wasn't really any big major announcements from that. Just a lot of Xbox centric. Yeah,
it was massively disappointing. It was
disappointing from a Western audience, but I think for the Eastern audiences who typically Xbox haven't really been a priority. I mean, on average, they sell, I think you mentioned before we started recording, double digits monthly.
Yeah.
So they're not really a market there. But yeah, so they had a lot of, they are trying. They did, the presentation was very, like say, Japanese orientated. They showed the next update coming to Flight Simulator, which includes some obviously the building the cities are going to be more developed for Japan.
7 cities, seven major cities and a bunch of landmarks.
Yeah, so they're increasing those into Flight Simulator. There was a big focus on like the Minecraft culture for Japanese creators as well. There's a ton of stuff, but it was like there's no major like new announcements there.
Every trailer they showed was an old trailer after Flight Simulator.
Yeah, after Flight Simulator and the Minecraft thing, which was a separate thing.
Again, I feel like the main focus of it was Game Pass again.
Yeah, which they announced is that's going to be coming straight away. They did say that cloud gaming is coming, but it's going to be in 2021 to Japan.
Game Pass already launched in Japan and it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, cloud gaming. I think they're looking at bolstering their obviously their Azure servers over there, so they've got dedicated server points for it. But yeah, that'll be 2021. It went on both the Series S and Series X went on pre-order. The Series S was even cheaper in Japan as well, which just to try and get that market in there. They did announce that shortly after that, the Series X is sold out completely. And I think it sold out in 20 minutes. And the Series S is sold out everywhere except for Amazon Japan. Which we don't know the numbers that they had for sale, so they could have just sold out 40 consoles. But I mean, yeah, I'll have to see the actual sales figures for that before we can get excited. But still, I mean, on the surface, it looks like Xbox is off to a good start in Japan for this next console life cycle. I know that.
I hope they do. It's always good to have. I said, healthy competition is good. Buying up studios and forming sides is not so good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Talk Japan, I think, is a big focus of Phil Spencer and just the Xbox in general for this next generation. I think they know they failed it last gen royally.
Oh, they failed it long before last gen.
Yeah, they didn't make any changes to last gen though to kind of fix it. But I think they're making a concerted effort now. They're trying to work with a lot more Japanese studios. I know the Final Fantasy games that aren't exclusive are coming to Game Pass. They're kind of trickling out. I think currently 7 and 9 are on there.
I think Kingdom Hearts is coming at some point as well.
Kingdom Hearts is already on Game Pass for console.
Right.
So yeah, you can get all 3 now, I think. So yes, I need to see. That's something I will play on console next. I may go through all of the Kingdom Hearts games, see if I can finally
God.
understand the story.
No, don't do it.
I'm doing it.
Don't punish yourself. Don't
I'm
punish
doing
yourself
it.
like this.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, no, great news for Xbox Japan. I think it looks like maybe things are turning around. Again, as we mentioned earlier, that Xbox are talking about buying another studio. I could see that being a Japanese studio. I don't know who. Who would you think they'd buy? Like the big Japanese studios, who could they buy? Or who would you want them to buy if they're gonna? Actually, no, not who they want them to buy, because I know you don't want anyone to get bought out.
No.
Who do you think they would buy then?
Who would they buy? I think they would try and buy Capcom because they've convinced Capcom a few times to make exclusive games for them.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to suggest someone, and I think it'll be your worst case scenario.
I think I can argue this counterpoint straight away when you say it.
From Software.
Oh, From Software. That is a possibility. I would rather they didn't. From Software, they always work with a publisher and they change publishers quite regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to have a good relationship with Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if someone tried to buy From Software, they would approach other publishers and go, "Look,
we've had this offer. Do you want to counter it?" The other thing as well, which I don't think a lot of people talk about, is that I think there's a rule in Japan where Western companies can outright buy a Japanese company.
right."
So I don't know.
From Software have also made exclusive PS4 game, Bloodborne. So yeah, I don't
mean,
see
but
it
we know that
happening.
that's not gonna stop Xbox buying a company, is it? Definitely.
Yeah, I don't see From Software being bought out. Not as they're sort of having their own little rise at the moment. They've not released a bad game since Demon's Souls.
No.
So I think I was dubious of their Activision publishing deal for Sekiro, but it didn't seem to.
Didn't affect it at all.
No, there was no shady microtransactions. I think Activision just wanted some of that From Software money.
Fair.
I thought you were going to say Sega.
No, I mean that would be a ridiculous purchase. I am
because there was rumors that Sega, but then I think I was talking to you and I pointed out that it would be weird of Sega trying to sell themselves when they've just bought Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a studio is not a move you do when you're trying to sell your company.
No, true. Yeah, I mean, although it would be nice if they did that and then we finally got Atlas games on Xbox, or even better, Switch. Switch would be nice. Give us some goddamn Atlas games on Switch. I'm looking at you, Persona. Yeah, anyway, going to fly through the rest of the news because we've been going for almost an hour already. Jeez.
With Sega, like, kind of controlling the shots for Atlas now, we have seen changes. We've seen Persona 4 on Steam. We've had...
they've said that they're going to be more PC games as well.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll bring some stuff to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Sega and Atlas at TGS pretty much announced nothing. So
yeah, was it just extended trailers and stuff we already knew about?
Yeah, just stuff we've already seen, and that Virtual Fighter's coming back, but they didn't really explain how.
Yay!
Yeah, so that was Sega.
Cool.
TGS has just been Monster Hunter Rise for me. And
yeah. And then some Resident Evil stuff. Are we getting Resident Evil stuff today as of recording? Like more extended looks into Resident Evil 8. I should probably go back and finish Resident Evil 7 at some point.
I don't need to see gameplay for horror games. I think it's kind of spoilers at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, talking of horror, trying to play Spider-Man on PS5.
Yeah. This is even up to just before we started recording this, I was still asking questions on this one.
This one confuses me. Like how they're doing this. And again, we'll get into it, but like Microsoft response to this was funny. So yeah, Marvel Spider-Man on PS5 won't have a physical release, and saves won't transfer from the PS4 version. So as obviously we saw in the last Xbox conference, and we've had confirmed before, Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming to PS5. It's now also coming to we know it's coming to PS4 as well.
Just to let you know, you said Xbox conference then.
Did I say Xbox? I meant the PlayStation conference. Obviously, I
Yeah.
can't read, speak,
If I
talk.
don't correct you now, someone will on Twitter.
Yeah, they will, bastards. So yes, as of the PS conference, yeah. So Miles Morales is coming. It's coming to PS4 and PS5. There is our Ultimate Edition, which is coming to PS5, which is going to include a remastered version of the 2018 version of Spider-Man. If you already own the PS4 version, you are not getting a free upgrade. Let's see if I can break this down easy because it is a confusing one. So
Okay,
if you
I'll break it
buy,
down for you.
go on then.
We've got Marvel's. So we've got Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Remastered. They're two separate titles.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man saves do not transfer to Spider-Man Remastered. Spider-Man is available on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Remastered is only on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is compatible with PS5 as a
Mm-hmm.
backwards compatible game,
Yeah.
but you can't transfer yours. If you decide to buy Spider-Man Remastered on PS5,
Mm-hmm.
you can't. But the only way to buy Spider-Man Remastered on PS5 is to either buy Miles Morales
Mm-hmm.
with Spider-Man
Yeah. So this is the
Remastered,
full 70 edition,
yeah,
$70 version, I
yeah,
think the same.
or buy Miles Morales on its own, either
Mm-hmm.
for PS4 or PS5, and then buying the extra upgrade, which is £20.
Yeah. So if you buy Miles Morales on PS4, you get a free upgrade to the PS5 version, but you
Yeah,
have to pay an extra $20 to get the remastered version of 2018 Spider-Man.
yes,
I'm still
yeah,
confused.
I
Right, yeah.
know.
So basically, they're treating the remastered version as a completely separate game.
But
Uh,
they're not
uh,
selling it separately. It's only available as an add-on to
to
Miles
Miles
Morales.
Morales. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a
and then
mess.
it's a mess. And then Xbox responded on Twitter by saying, "And here's how you get the free the upgrades to the next gen versions. Just buy the game.
Yeah,
That's it." It's a it's this is basically the
it was.
reverse of the last gen when it was the whole how do you share games, and it's like the
Oh yeah.
PlayStation was like, there you go.
I mean, it's not as clean cut when Microsoft did it though, because you've got companies like Activision and 2K which are charging people for upgrades
Yeah,
no matter what.
it's a bit
So
messy, but with the third parties, but yeah.
yeah, I get what they were going for though. It
Mhm.
was 8 years in the waiting for that one.
Yeah, there was someone was sitting on that one. But yeah, it's convoluted. It's confusing. I honestly don't know if it's the right move. I think people who own the PS4 version maybe get to pay the early upgrade, like the cheaper upgrade option, rather than paying for it full price again.
I've never played it on PS4, so now
Mm-hmm.
I can either play it with faster load times on PS5
Mm-hmm.
or pay an extra price on top of. Basically, I have to buy Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to buy the DLC for a game I haven't played yet,
Yeah,
to then buy
a
DLC
DLC
for
to get
that.
the actual game.
Yeah. So I have to buy the DLC to buy the DLC of the original game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they fucked that one up. And they're also charging £70 for Demon's Souls.
yeah. I mean, I think we need to get
So
over the
basically, yeah,
fact now that games are going to be $70 for £70.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is yeah, I'm not over it, but it's Sony fucked everyone up now because
Mm-hmm.
they're a first party and they are charging £70 for their games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the standard set.
Yeah.
All studios will now be, if not for the first releases, by the end of the first year of the next generation,
Yeah, any next gen
£70.
releases are going to be £70 standard, I
Yeah.
think. Or, I mean, just put it out there, just pay £15 a month and get it on Game Pass.
That's another thing. That's another thing in Game Pass is a corner now.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7 months of Game Pass.
Yeah, that's it. If you want to play one first party title, that's like you say, if it's a 20-hour game, pay $1, get an update to, or get a Game Pass for a trial, and then yeah, play the game and you're done for £1. Or
Yeah,
just get it for like a year, which I think it works out about £120, I think, something like that. Or just over £150 if you get it like as a year package, and then yeah, you can get access to every first party Xbox title, 100 plus third party titles. It's or you could spend $70 and get one game on PlayStation
and PC and
and PC.
everywhere else,
Yeah.
any other place. Yeah,
That's
that's what I mean. This is what I'll say at the start. This is Xbox's gamble. This is their ace in the hole.
it's a pretty
This
big
is the
ace.
card. This is the card up their sleeve. This is everything that they're banking on.
Yeah.
They've given. It's basically like the last 2 or 3 years of Game Pass. Has it been that long? I think it has been.
It's been about that, yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass launched alongside Series X, pretty much.
It was near it. Oh, yeah, the One X.
Yeah, because I remember the confusion when I worked in retail that people thought Game Pass was only part of the new version of the Xboxes because it wasn't communicated very well.
There.
Same with backwards compatibility. I think that launched around the same time as Series S. Sorry, Xbox One S. And people were confused about that as well.
Yeah.
People are easily confused.
People are easily confused. Yeah. Talking of which, just as a side note, did you notice that people are buying a ton of One X's on Amazon?
Yeah, that's probably more of the confusion. But yeah, what I was saying is I feel like the last 2 years of Game Pass and it being cheap, but like trying to get as many games in there possible was just to get us as the consumers to do their advertising for them.
Yeah, I mean it's working.
I've told people to use Game Pass for things.
Yeah, I've sang its praises constantly. I think it's the best deal in video games ever.
I don't think we've got through a podcast without mentioning Game Pass.
No, I don't think we have, because everything that we talk about, like at least one of the games that we talk about each week, is coming to Game Pass. Every month there's a new announcement of new games coming, and it's like, yeah, it's just going to keep getting better and better as it goes on. But they may have some slight competition. Just to jump into the next story. On the PC side, Amazon have announced their Amazon Luna cloud gaming service. Well, I say competition, it's not really going to be a competition, is it? So this is basically Amazon's answer to Stadia and cloud gaming for Xbox. I think this is what Stadia should have been when it announced. It's similar to the Game Pass subscription model of it's going to be $5.99 a month, and you'll get access to every game in there. They've announced that it's going to be 1080 with 4K 60 frames a second for selected titles. It's coming to PC, Mac, and iOS with Android later. There's going to be over 100 games available. It's going to be powered by Amazon's web services, so basically their equivalent of Azure. It's going to have Twitch integration, and they're going to offer like additional ad hoc channels that you can pay extra for if you want access to those. So I think they said that the first one's going to be Ubisoft titles are going to be in there.
So basically letting you know that Ubisoft titles are not part of the base subscription.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want it, it's basically the cloud version of Uplay Plus. But yeah. But yeah, this is kind of like what Stadia should have been. So it's the kind of like, here's a subscription model, and you get access to every game that's in that base subscription, rather than being here's a monthly fee, and then you have to buy the games on top.
Just looking at the sample of games they show on the website, there's a couple, like very limited amount of AAA games there. But again, one of them is an Ubisoft game, and I don't know if that's going to be part of the base subscription or two.
Yeah,
there's two Ubisoft games there, so yeah, there's a Capcom game in there. There's a lot of indie stuff.
I think they've got Sonic in there.
Yeah, I think the majority of that 100 games will be indie stuff,
like AA to indie titles. I know Control's in there and stuff like that, but yeah, there's a couple of AAAs in there. But I guess we'll have to wait till it launches. I think the one bonus that this has on like cloud and cloud gaming, the Xbox cloud gaming and Stadia, is it's going to work on iOS because it's going to be a web-based, browser-based solution.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, they're going to do it through the website, so therefore it circumvents the App Store completely.
Yep, so you don't need to use the App Store, you just run it off the iOS. It's going to be obviously the latest iOS. I think it says iOS 14 and like Android 6 points, 6 plus, I think it was, to run. But yeah, I mean, this
currently
is
only available in America.
Currently only available, so it is early access at the moment. So it's this $5.99 per month is an early access price. It's going to go up. It's going to cost more when it finally launches. But yeah, it's US only at present. So I imagine they'll be bolstering their Amazon Web Services around the world to kind of offer it when it's ready.
It's weird because the majority of America has terrible internet, so it's a
Yeah,
weird place to launch.
I think they said that it's going to need for the 1080 stuff. It's going to be at least a minimum of a stable 10 meg connection, with 35 meg for your 4K stuff when they do that. But yeah, we'll again, as we were going to say, like, so go ahead.
Only 72 games available.
All right, so the whole more than 100 games available, not quite.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now.
Right, as I
I'm
was
not going to read out all
saying.
72.
No, as I was saying, though, I think this has got the same problem that Stadia has of it being the sole option of playing these games is going to be via your browser. The thing I like about we'll call it xCloud still. I know they're calling it cloud gaming, but xCloud has that thing of it being an addition to their standard console and PC market, rather than it being the sole option for playing these games. So the problem you've got is if ever Stadia or Amazon Luna decide to cancel this subscription service, you lose access to everything that you've been playing.
Yeah.
Whereas with the xCloud stuff, you can basically go, well, I can't play it over xCloud anymore, but I can carry on playing it on my console or my PC. And I think that's always going to be the argument against these things.
I would say that Resident Evil 7 is the only AAA game on here.
I said the Control's part of the marketing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Control's on here as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the Control currently. So Remedy's independent at the moment, so a deal like this is probably good money for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like stuff. Other stuff that I've seen on here, like Sonic Mania is on here, but
right.
Sega treats that like an indie game.
Yeah, true.
And then it's mostly just what you'd expect. A lot of focus home games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of indie stuff.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of like must play titles in there just yet.
Yeah, it's got River City Girls.
All right, there you go. Day one for you then.
I've bought that game 3 times though.
All right, fair enough. Never mind. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that the biggest companies are making an effort to get involved in cloud gaming. I think it's going to be again, as I've always said, like I think it's going to be a great addition to like dedicated gaming. I don't like the idea of just it being online only, like a cloud only service.
But this goes back to what I said about an hour ago, when Microsoft sees Amazon and Google as their competition now.
Yeah.
And then a day or two after they announce all their new console stuff and their Game Pass stuff and their Bethesda buyout, Amazon announces their cloud gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So they were right.
Yeah, I mean they are 100%. This is the thing that like, if we let's say we treat Google and Amazon as the competition, which obviously Xbox are doing, who is the winner in that market? Like, because in
Microsoft
my eyes, and I've said
brand
that,
there.
Yeah, Amazon are a trusted brand. No one likes Jeff Bezos.
Microsoft for me
Microsoft,
because Microsoft is the one that's been in gaming for longer.
Mm-hmm.
You have like you said, you have the fallback. So
yeah, that's it.
Well, their streaming stuff is you stream things from Game Pass, but
Mm-hmm.
you've always got a console at home that you can play a downloaded version of that game. So if you're having bad internet, you can still play it.
Yeah, so you just wait till you get home, download it, and then carry on as you were. And that's the thing. The fact that it's these dedicated services, and we've seen time and time again that Google will just drop services left, right, and center when they don't work out for them, and immediately. I don't know how much money they've put into getting Stadia up and running, but honestly, the reputation, because it came out in such a bad state, like so many things missing from it, so many missed promises, that I honestly 2 to 3 years down the line, I don't know if it'll still be around. Because again, Google have shown that they're happy to cancel stuff that isn't working out for them. Amazon, maybe I could see them putting a focus on it.
So Amazon tends to stick with things.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the only downside to Microsoft in my head amongst all 3 of these is Microsoft are not letting you play these games or streamed on PC. Still,
not yet. Again,
they've never officially talked about it either.
They've never officially talked about it. I think, again, I've seen to and fro's between Phil Spencer and people in the industry who have been like the industry people have been like, this would be a fantastic addition to PC, and he's been like, I agree, and then never says anything else about it. So I imagine they've got to be at least thinking about it, because if you talk about a dedicated streaming device, that is pretty much what a PC is nowadays.
Well, yeah, I'd like to be able to just put a game on sometimes without having to download the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I think going forwards, I guarantee it's going to be a focus of like they'll treat Game Pass and cloud gaming as the new replacement for a demo service. So like if I can start streaming a game for like, say, here's a 20-minute access to a game, I can try it out for 20 minutes and be like, I didn't have to download it, I just streamed it. I like it, I'll hit download, I'll hit play, buy or whatever, and then I can just carry on playing from there. I could see them introducing cloud gaming to the PC and the new Xbox titles, like the new Xbox consoles. Sorry, I can see that being a thing in the future, maybe a year down the line, if not sooner.
Well, an example of where cloud gaming would have been useful recently. I spent about an hour downloading a 60 gigabyte game just to play it for 5 minutes and realize I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah, that's it.
I could have found that out an hour earlier if I could have just started streaming it.
Yeah, and the flip side of that is like, were you not in the mood because you had to wait an hour to play it?
I mean, yeah, it could have been that the mood escaped me in that hour of waiting.
That's it, yeah. And this is the thing. I could 100% them see him using streaming as that kind of like quick access to a game while it downloads in the background.
Do you know how many times this week I have stopped playing games because I've been watching people play Among Us?
Oh man, well, there'll be a lot more coming to Among Us if we're jumping into that story. We did get confirmation this week that they are cancelling Among Us 2, but don't worry, it's not bad news. The reason that they're doing it is because they're putting all of the ideas for Among Us 2 into Among Us 1. So Among Us is probably the new Fall Guys for like that big title on streaming.
2 years old.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like I say, I was going to say big new title, but it's not new because, like I say, it is 2 years old. But it's just managed to blow up this last couple of months.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's fantastic.
I read this post and they were working on a new engine to try and implement some of this new stuff, but feel like they feel with the big explosion of the game. I'm just putting words in their mouth now, but I feel like they feel if they release a sequel now, it looks like a cash grab.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah,
because like I said, blew up.
Yeah, because to everyone else, this is a new game. Like to them, it's 2 years old, and they want to move on and work on something else. But like you say, because of how big it's become recently, like about 50% of the people on my Twitch list are playing Among Us at any one time. I want to start playing it more on streams as well. It is a fantastic stream game, and it's just fun to watch.
I even downloaded the free version on phone just in case, like, I wanted to just try it because it doesn't look like you're going to lose anything playing it on the phone.
No, the only thing is the only thing you lose on the phone is obviously the mid or the in-game discussions about who's the killer.
You get on Discord though, don't you?
Yeah, but if you don't have Discord, then yeah, or if you can't get into a Discord chat with the people that are in a game because obviously there's open lobbies and stuff like that. Yeah, playing with people that you know and friends is where it's at with this game, I think. But yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to getting to it. Yeah, we can play it. We can do it. We'll get some people together. We'll have a game. But they did announce, obviously, yeah, as I say, they're cancelling Among Us 2, and they're going to start working on improving Among Us 1 to like include all the updates that we're going to do. They're going to change the code base to make it a lot better. They're going to start making so one of the things that they've announced, they're going to start including colorblind support. They're going to start adding a friends account system in there as well, so you can actually save your friends list of people you've played with and things like that. They're going to add new stages in there and just like I say, improvements to the server system as well. So yeah, great news for them. Like I say, this game's blown up. We've both bought it, so we're probably going to start playing it at some point in the future. Yeah, fantastic news for them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day.
One day. One day we'll get in there.
As I said, I have probably watched more of this game than I will ever currently play myself.
Yeah.
I've probably watched 5 or 6 hours worth of Among Us gameplay in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
just love
is
it.
so much fun to watch. It is.
It's better when you're watching watching groups of. So I don't think you follow them, but there's a YouTuber slash Twitcher I follow called Maximilian Dude.
I know of him, yeah.
And he's got all of his friends. They all do stuff together as your video games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 4 of them already, plus people they know, and then
Mm-hmm.
people from the streams. So there's a big group of people that I already recognize playing it, and listening to them all argue with each other is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They very early on decided that anyone who opens an argument with bro is the killer.
Bro. Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyone who says, and it's worked out. Every time someone has said bro, they've usually been an imposter. So
Yeah, I've been watching a few people play it. It looks like a ton of fun. I am 100% going to get in there at some point soon. But we should definitely get a few people together, get some friends on, and yeah, have a few games. It'd be fun. But yeah, other than that, the only other news story that we had this week that we want to touch on was we mentioned them earlier. Destiny 2. They've announced that they're going to be looking to decrease their install size. So obviously with the new update, there's going to be, I think they say it's going to be about a 30% drop in size of the actual game install.
they're dropping 30% of the game as well. So.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff vaulted. There's a lot of excess stuff in there that's not really used anymore. So they're going to be dropping a lot of that. They're also going to be changing how updates work, so they're going to be a lot quicker and a lot smaller. So they did mention that obviously between seasons they have to basically wait until the last season's out before they can start working on the next season and fixing those changes, but they can start doing like more ad hoc changes to it now, which is good.
It sounds, yeah, because the other bit of the news is it's an entire re-download of the game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
my theory on this is the only games I've ever had to completely re-download is when they've changed something to do with the actual base game engine.
mm-hmm.
So
Well, this is what what they've been hinting at is that it's going to be changing the base engine to make it easier to do updates, remove a lot of the excess fluff in there.
Yeah,
to kind of.
That's what I mean. It sounds, with the way they're talking, it sounds like they've made it easier to change the code on the fly. So
yeah,
this does sound like they've changed the engine or updated the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when this changes over, I will probably go start playing it on Xbox instead.
Yay!
At that point, Game Pass giving me the next expansion for free.
That's it. Like this is the thing. Like Xbox have got that new expansion coming as part of Game Pass. You get everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until that maybe a week before and start playing just to get catch up on there and get grips with everything again. Because it is, like you say, it is now on. I think it's this week. It comes to Game Pass on console.
I think it's on console Game Pass. Is it coming to PC Game Pass or is it just console?
I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere. I think it might just be console and cloud. So yeah, or console and Android as they've marked it. But yeah. So yeah, I think it is just going to be console for now. But I'd love it if it did come to PC. But then again, the problem with that is it then kind of cannibalizes those Steam sales, doesn't it?
I was kind of hoping that like the Windows Game Pass version would share servers with Xbox, and then I'd have a way to crossplay with some of my friends.
That'd be nice. I mean, crossplay is coming next year. They did say that, but it just means wait until next year.
I mean, once crossplay is out, I will just stick with whichever platform is giving me the best deal because it's a free-to-play game.
Exactly, yeah. Whichever gives you most access to DLC stuff, which currently would be Xbox, I think. I don't know what the deal is going to be like going forwards, but we shall wait and see. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this week, though. One thing before the PC, so the Destiny stuff, you can preload it the day before, so November 9th, which is weird.
It's only giving you like a 10-hour chance to pre-order it, though.
Preload, yeah. The thing is, though, like if you are a next-gen player, you just have to wait till November 10th because that's the earliest you can play it. So that's the thing. It's a launch update as well for the Xbox console.
In the Game Pass app, Destiny's in there 3 times.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
on the console, it's there as Destiny 2, Destiny 2 Forsaken, and Destiny 2 Shadowkeep.
All
It
right.
is 3 separate things in Game Pass.
Weird. All right. Fair enough.
I'm guessing they mean that those expansions are also added to Game Pass.
Yeah.
It looks weird to see. Oh,
Yeah.
Night in the Woods is on console as well, though. That's cool.
What's that?
Is Night in the Woods on Night in the Woods? Is that on PC as well?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find. We'll
Yeah,
have a look at that
I've
after.
derailed you. It is. Yeah, I'm installing that.
Sweet. All right. Well, that is it for this week. We are done and dusted. That's all your news. I'm excited to see what Xbox buy next. But
I'm
yeah.
not.
No, you're not. No.
Stop buying things Xbox. You've done it now. Save your
Done
money
it.
for Christmas.
Man, you know,
Stop buying yourself stuff.
I would like. I know it'll never happen, but like, I saw a thing like talking about the Xbox of like apparently like the profits, like I think 3 months of profits was basically the entire operating cost of PlayStation at one point. I just love Xbox to try and go fuck it. We're buying Sony. That'd be great.
But
It never happened, but I'd love it.
Yeah, if it's what you say is true, they're not allowed to buy a Japanese company anyway.
No, true. Yeah, just buy the console division. That's fine. Just take that. Thank you. But yeah, that does it for this week, as I say. Again, as we said at the beginning, if you want to catch us online, find us at Despawn Podcast on Facebook and Twitter, or Patreon at /Despawn Podcast. But until next week, keep playing more games, wash your hands and your controllers. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.